Five, four, three, two, one. This is the Void Fill, episode 3. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, welcome to the Void Fill, everybody. My name is Jeff.
My name is Will.
And on today's episode, we are going to talk about the problem of poor diets, as well as the coming changes to our Earth.
Yeah, that's definitely a big concern of mine. Within the last few years or the last couple of years, I'd say I went through, I would say, like a reawakening, but more so of a bodily reawakening. I'm trying to make my body in more of a homeostasis, in more of a balanced place. And I had my dad. He had passed away. He had colon cancer, and a lot of the times colon cancer is like attributed to eating like red meats, eating processed foods, even drinking, even smoking, and all that kind of stuff. So I had this kind of little revelation. I'm like, man, maybe the food industry this whole time has been and we can go really deep into this, but I felt that this whole time the food industry is sabotaging us, and it's almost like a Darwinistic thing. Like, let's see who's smart enough to not eat the shit, And I think that people need to be more aware that it's almost like a game that they're playing with us. That they're trying to see what we eat, and then they're feeding us sugar at a young age and trying to get us like addicted to sugar at a young age and all this processed foods. And I was gonna say, before you know it, things, you grow up and you start eating like burgers and all that stuff, and it just keeps going and going, and then you have kids, and then those kids do the same things, and it becomes like a chain reaction. So people need to start breaking the chain. People need to break the chain away from this current food system. It is harming us. It is dangerous. It is not good for you. It depletes your energy levels, makes you feel like you need to drink coffee every day. You don't. If you eat well, you're going to have really good energy. Jeff, what do you have to say about that?
Wow, folks, that's what we call a power introduction.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you hit it right on the head, Will, right there. Our diets are so poor, and a lot of that is very deliberate by the power structure, more specifically, these massive corporations, which essentially control our food because we just let them. And and of course, I'm talking about Western civilization. A lot of cultures in Eastern civilization are still growing their own food and not necessarily depending on these big companies to supply it for them. A lot of people in Eastern society will go and get their food fresh every day from a local market or what have you. And that's a great segue into the first topic for tonight. And one of the best ways to battle this poor nutrition problem directly is to grow your own food.
Damn right.
And recently, I have started doing this in a way which can benefit people in an apartment. Typically, somebody who, when you think of growing your own food, people probably assume that you need land, you need a few acres, you need farming equipment, but it's not true. And what we can do is, because there's so many people in the inner cities right now, and even people in suburban areas, a lot of people live in small dwellings such as apartments. And we need to start a new trend of apartment farming. We should call it apartment farming. And there can be apartment farmers all over the place. You could grow your own food in your own apartments. And one of the best ways to do that is, of course, sprouts. Will, what do you know about sprouts?
So I've seen them at Whole Foods. They're always super expensive. I put them on my salads. I know that they're very high nutrient. They have I don't know the exact amount or ratio, but it's a much higher count of nutrients than the actual plant when it's grown in its adult stages. So I know it's very healthy for you. That's all.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. One of the biggest benefits of sprouts is the nutrition count, because you have to think of a sprout as simply the first week or of a plant's the first few days to a week of a plant's life. So
The only
when
other
you
the only other thing I know about sprouts is like when you're getting almonds from the store, or if you're gonna get tofu, you want to get sprouted versions because a lot of these things have like levels of cyanide and other chemicals when they're in their natural form. And what it is, it's like the plant's defense mechanism to have like insects and other animals, even maybe even humans. It's a defense mechanism to make us die, essentially, if we eat it early. So you got to catch these things when they're sprouting. That's when that it shuts off that chemical. It could be cyanide or other ones, but at a very very minute level. So that's
well,
that's
I have not heard of that yet,
yeah. You
but
should look into it. It is true.
that's very interesting. It doesn't surprise me if that's true because you find so many various ways that nature just finds ways to defend itself.
If you ever go to the store and you go look for sprouted peanut butter, you're gonna notice it's it's way more expensive, and that's because it takes a longer time to wait for the peanuts to sprout and then to get the oil from it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like $20 for a bottle of sprouted
Yeah.
peanut butter. It's like rich people peanut butter.
For the people watching this video, I'm going back and forth between two pictures of sprouts right now. That's right, folks. All you need is a mason jar, and you, in an apartment, can grow your own food.
How long does it take to grow something like that?
It depends on what it is. What I typically grow in sprouts is radishes, wheatgrass, red wheat's very sweet. I really like that. I grow broccoli. Um, so it all depends, but typically on average, I would say to get a jar to about this stage. This stage is probably a little later on, depending how full it is. But to get to a jar to either one of these stages, uh, anywhere from 4 to 6 days, maybe
What?
less.
4 to 6 days?
4 to 6 days. That's right.
Oh my!
And I will be doing a video here in my own apartment. I will be supplementing multiple videos so anybody out there can be an apartment farmer as well. I think
Oh wow!
this
That's a great idea.
extremely,
Yeah.
this is extremely important, especially considering the climate change coming up. We're already seeing crop failures worldwide, and I think humans need to get back to their roots.
Wait. Crop failures?
Yes. There's been crop failures related to climate change, specifically
Is this
flooding.
what sources do you have on this?
Well, I have it's all there's from news articles all around the world. I don't have any of those prepared with me right now.
No, you don't have to have them prepared. I just wanted to know if like people can go and they can search about these crop failures.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just type into Google crop failures and click the news tab, and you're gonna notice really quick. It's becoming a pattern. And
Wow.
I'm not saying there's never been crop failures before, but it's starting to happen more and more and more as we enter this grand solar minimum. So one of the best ways you can do to combat the growing crop problem, as well as poor nutrition, is grow sprouts.
Wow.
Sprouts are great. Sprouts are fun. They grow quickly. They're fun. They're exciting. They're 100% fresh. And did you know they make a great gift? I can't tell
How much
you.
is it? How much does it cost to get yourself set up? The whole thing. Don't even get into the breakdown. Tell us how much it costs to just get a kit of maybe 4 different seeds and get going.
I would say a standard pack of mason jars at your hardware store is probably 12 to $13. So with that being said, depending on what you want, the sprout seeds shipped to your house. We're talking to get started, just to try it out,
Yep.
less than $20.
Wow. $20? How many cycles of sprouts can I get?
You can probably get 2 or 3 cycles, maybe 4, yeah, maybe 5.
Maybe wow. And when you go to Whole Foods, you could buy maybe a half of that amount and it costs about $8.
Really? I've never even bought Sprouts in a grocery store.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Oh man, I'm telling you, Sprouts is fun. You know, you can make a game out of it. Be like, be like Veggie Pac Man. Look at him, just
I'm gonna be doing it soon. I haven't started yet, so but I'm gonna be doing it soon.
You best damn be doing it
I
soon.
shall. I shall. One thing I
You know
wanted,
who else?
one thing
Go
I,
on, Will.
one thing I wanted to bring up. I really wanted to get down the rabbit hole here about the food industry, and really, I'm gonna get deep here. So, I feel that at a young age, the powers that be place us into this Darwinistic, almost like battle of knowledge. And so when we're young, they feed us all this shit, and all these celebrities are just endorsing all this crap. And then by the time we're old, we're just we all they have cancer. All these things happen. So what we need to do is we need to take control of what we put in our bodies, and we need to not fall into our addictive states, feeding ourselves with sugar, feeding and those all these things, even like cheese, have things like casein, and all that casein does is it's an opiate antagonist. So I think I got that right. Opiate antagonist. So it hits your opiate centers, and it's
What it does is it affects the same receptors in your brain as opioids do.
yep, exactly.
So that I think that's what you're getting at. So it's essentially cheese with the chemical casein in it.
And it releases endorphins essentially. So it's gonna give you a feel good effect. You're gonna get slightly addicted to it. And they're really getting us addicted to these foods. Um, and then over time, then they're gonna have to combat all these things that happen. Like you could have acid reflux. You could get asthma from eating like lots of cheese because you have mucus buildup. So lots of these like diseases are because you're imbalancing your pH, and your pH is more on the acidic level. And there's studies that have been shown that a bit more basic pH will actually help your body to get rid of diseases, cancers. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just giving what my own knowledge is on something, and I don't take it for word. If you have cancer, go to the doctor. But it's been shown that a bit more basic pH can definitely help your symptoms. So we need to just take control of what we put in our bodies. There is something going on that these powers that be just want people to just kill themselves so that the world doesn't overpopulate, and this is their way of population control. This is my own opinion, okay? So that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's healthy to speculate about that, especially given the day and age when we're just so bombarded with all of these external things. You know, we have our own thoughts and we think we make our own decisions nowadays, but we really don't, considering how much we are bombarded with advertisements and expectations and what have you. And that really does heavily apply to the food industry. I mean, think about it, Will. Ever since we were little, we were essentially brainwashed to believe that there's this almighty food pyramid,
Which is that is just a theory. It's just speculation. It's not even for sure that that's what is good, you know? I hate the food pyramid, man. I hate it.
There's a really good, I shouldn't say really good, but a very watch-worthy documentary called "What the Health."
Yes,
and
yes, that is definitely a good one for sure.
Even though there's some claims made in that documentary that are pretty ridiculous,
They are.
I will say this: everybody should watch that because it really exposes.
It does.
The industry side of it. It shows the corruption of the government.
Or all the
that
money that's going to like the cancer institute, like these cancer research societies that was funded by like like these big companies, these big food companies
right.
that are selling like processed foods and processed meats and stuff like that.
Well, right, exactly. It's the very companies that are selling us things that are causing us, that are giving us cancer, are the ones controlling the funding for the organizations that are supposed to be researching the fight against cancer.
And they don't want cancer to be cured anytime soon. That would be the worst for population control.
You're absolutely right.
We
No,
we
for
would
sure.
overrun the planet for sure. So it may be in their eyes what they're doing is good, but in my eyes it's terrible.
I think I want to bring up the next part of my apartment farming thing, Will, and we'll get back to that. And so I know I already mentioned sprouts, which are very easy to
Very easy,
grow,
yeah.
by the way.
For sure.
Now you can take that to the next step. And the next step of a plant's life are what considered to be microgreens. This is a picture I got from the internet. This is an example of somebody who's in the microgreens business. He has multiple trays going with different types, but this is just to show you these sprouts, they turn into this if you plant them and put them under enough light and let them grow for a long time.
What kind of lights do you use?
I use LED lights, and I make sure I have a white and
Like a
red
strip?
spectrum.
Like a strip light?
Yes, I use LED
Like those
strip
cheap
lights,
ones.
and I'm going to
Wait, aren't those like $20 on Amazon?
I will include more details when I make a video soon. I'm going to make a video on sprouts and a video on microgreens.
Awesome.
I'll
We'll have that. We'll have that in the
right.
links, everybody. We'll put those things in the links.
Absolutely, and this is just one example. So I'm growing microgreens right now. Right now I have radish, broccoli growing. My girlfriend has some amaranth. What else do you got, babe? Mustard kale? Arugula, mustard, kale, just a whole different variety right now. We're testing things. Oh, and I got sunflower seed sprouts coming. So it's going to be great. And my point is, people, that these are just so easy to grow, and all you need is a little bit of electricity. That's all you need. And since I'm in an apartment, I don't use soil. I figure that to be messy. For these, at least, what I use are 10 by 20 inch hemp pads.
Hemp. Wow, cannabis can be used for so many things.
So many things.
It's an amazing plant.
I know. And yeah, and I'm gonna include more details when I make the separate videos of all the specifics. So
wow.
So stay tuned for that. And
hemp pads.
Hemp pads. And here I have an article here, Will, from the National Institute of Health that essentially concludes that it's good to grow your own food.
That's great.
We have studies.
Wait, what is that? I mean, you're just kind of going through that really quickly, but can you go through up that chart again? Go up a little bit?
I'm sorry. This is called Health Benefits of Grow Your Own Food in Urban Areas.
Hey, scroll down. Scroll down to that chart. I want to read something. Right there. Oh, right there. That's good. Where the table 2 is. Go down a little bit. Right there. That's good. Okay. I thought they were just showing their like the average like lifespan of people who grow their own foods. I thought I saw that. Never mind. My bad.
No, what this is lead concentrations in soil, vegetables, and fruits in the UK for this particular study. So what this study is trying to outline is there's lots of contaminants in our ground, in our soil. And really the only way to prevent that and to know what you're eating is to grow your own food.
Wow.
Look at this. First sentence of the conclusion. Growing your own food in urban areas has potential health benefits which may positively improve the physical and psychological health of participants. So, and this is just one paper I happened to find, but this is as if it wasn't already common sense that it's just a good thing to grow your own food.
Definitely. You're growing plants.
So many things, yeah, that just support.
You're putting oxygen in your apartment.
And I mean, look at this girl. She's thrilled.
But
She's got a whole
she's in a greenhouse, respectfully.
respectfully. Yes. Look how happy she is. She's
Oh
growing
yeah.
microgreens. She's probably healthy than
Not gonna lie though, Jeff, that girl looks like she hasn't slept in days.
yeah, probably because she's been microgreening so hard.
That looks like the smile of despair.
She's being like Pac Man. Nom 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 nom.
That's great. Yeah. So, and I really think that veganism is a great thing. I know that it's not for everybody though, so I'm not gonna say don't do it, but I lean towards the side of veganism. I have been working out a lot lately, so I've been including eggs in my diet because it's a very quick way to get protein. I'm a yuppie. I'm a busy business person, so don't have any time for that. But and I know that a lot of you guys don't have time to necessarily like cook and make foods, but there's options. There's Green Chef. There's all these types of home things, home packaged stuff that you don't have to go shopping. You can do all of that, and you can do that on top of doing microgreens because obviously you're not going to be able to grow all of your own food, but you can grow most of like the essential basics.
Right, and yeah, you bring up a good point, Will. Realistically, the sprouts and microgreens that I grow, they really only support probably about 25% of what I eat right now.
That's still
But
great. That's all free, I mean, not free, but
it's not free,
yeah.
but I'm telling you, the more I do it, the more I get used to it, and it really you do save money in the long run. It's so easy to just get lazy, go get some fast food, or spend a shit ton of money at Walmart or Jewel and buy a bunch of overpriced processed foods that aren't even good for you. And you save a lot of money.
That's a great picture. That's a great picture. Wow.
I know.
The potato is the money.
The potato is the balance. And the money, yeah. The potato. Be like the potato calculator. Okay. Calculate potatoes, and you'll save money. Look at this. Look at all these euros you could save. You know what you could do with all those euros, Will? Blonde!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Blondes.
Or if you're in a legal state where you could grow your own marijuana, there's that.
You could grow your weed and you can grow your own food at the same time.
Cannabis, you don't have to be pro cannabis. You just have to be anti-suffering.
Oh man. Oh, it's so funny. But all right, so I want to bring up the next thing here, and this is something I have not tried in my apartment yet. But I want to bring up the idea of aquaponics.
Oh yes, we did touch on this a little bit. I think on our first episode. Yeah.
Yes, and we're gonna move right along here because we got about 20 minutes left here.
Okay.
So this is just one example of an aquaponic system, and I have a diagram up on the next slide so to explain it a little better. But what you have here is 3 levels. On the bottom level, you have a fish tank, which is pumping its water up to the top level, which that water seeps down to the second level, and the second level recycles that water back down to the fish tank, and it constantly repeats itself. And the reason for this process, can you see that diagram okay?
Yep.
So you have the fish tank on the bottom, right? And their poop contains ammonia, and that ammonia gets pumped up to the top, which gets deposited in that plant, in those plants' soil and water, which helps feed the plants with its nitrates. And then, yes, the bacteria turns nitrites into nitrates. The nitrate is absorbed by the plants along with other nutrients. Let's say this is the top row of these plants right here. So you have the fish waste being not necessarily the waste, but the organic makeup of that water gets pumped up into the top, which is right here, and then the plants absorb the nitrates, and because there's a high amount of those nitrates, it takes another level to really fully what's the word, utilize. You want to be as efficient as possible, so you're utilizing all those nitrates and all that good bacteria in the water, and then that gets dumped back down, which the fish benefit from, and then it's just a nonstop process. It just keeps going over and over again, and again, all you need is a little bit of electricity. I have not tried this yet. I'm not sure if my landlord's going to let me have fish in here, so I most likely will not be trying aquaponics.
That's like something to do when you have like a house or like a garage or a basement.
You could do it in an apartment if they allow fish or reptiles.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and I've been in apartments where I've seen reptiles and fish. So yeah, you don't need a house. This episode's all about apartment farming, and this is something I'd like to see other people out there make a video. Show me your aquaponics. We're all learning within this together. I'm still very new to all this, so don't just take what I say for absolute certainty. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusion. But I really.
So do you have to continue putting more fish in there, or do they just grow on their own?
That's a good question. I didn't think about that till right now.
Yeah, that's something we should research further and do another episode on this with some really solid research.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I would imagine the food or the fish that you put in there.
It seems like it would be a perfect state, like a perfect circle.
You also eat the fish, though. I'm pretty sure you can choose to eat the fish as well. But like you said, you have to keep populating that fish tank then.
Right. But if
you don't eat the fish, then you can just continually keep making plants.
Right. Right. That's really awesome.
Let's take this one step further and imagine you're in a high rise, and what if collectively as a community, an entire apartment complexes got together and they all work together to grow their own food. Imagine a massive aquaponic system high rise.
I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing development properties that are trying to outdo their competitors by having full out aquaponic systems built into every single one of the condos. I would not be surprised if you start to see some bougie apartments.
Yeah, you're right. I would imagine it's very bougie.
It's probably in the works, but for places in big cities.
I haven't heard anything about it yet, but if you see something like that, please send it my way.
I definitely will. I mean, it wouldn't be no surprise to me that this essentially could be the next refrigerator. The next appliance. There's going to be some sort of innovation that happens real soon because we're right on the cusp of something. I feel it.
Oh, I feel it too, man. It's like this energy that you can't escape from. I feel society and technology is just speeding up more and more and more, and it's just going to get faster and faster and faster in terms of developing technology. But this next slide is an example of a small-scale vertical farming. Here you have a basic vertical farming setup. So for people in apartments with not a lot of room, you could do what I have a shelf system set up where I vertically farm. I don't have everything on the floor. There's not enough room, so you have to go high. You have to go tall, I mean. So this is just another example. Here's another example. These are flowers, but you could do the same idea with vegetables or fruit for that matter. Like you said, it's in the works. Well, it's in the works. I wouldn't be surprised if they're developing super high rises with shark security.
Hey,
protect their plants.
That might actually work one day.
Look at these sharks in the water. I just want freaking high rises with freaking microgreens guarded by freaking sharks. Is that too much to ask for?
You're gonna need $1 billion.
Oh man, I hope that's not copyrighted.
I doubt it. I
Anyway,
doubt it.
but yeah, that was. We'll leave a little bit of time here at the end of the episode to be a little loose and not so structured.
Sure.
But that's it, folks. It's super simple. You can grow sprouts in a mason jar. This you don't need electricity. All you need is water, a mason jar, and the natural light next to your window. And I have actually grown sprouts under LED lights. So even if you live in a fucking dungeon and you have a little bit of electricity, you could still grow sprouts. That's assuming a master lets you get some seeds or not. But
Where do you get your seeds? Is it just like on a website?
Yeah, I get my seeds from a site called True Leaf Market.
It's great. It's great. It's good endorsement.
Yeah.
You hear that, everyone? Go get your seeds from trueleafmarket.com. I wish we were sponsored, but we're not. We think they're awesome. So
yeah, though they're great. So everything always gets here in a timely fashion, quality stuff. Yeah, trueleafmarket.com.
Cool.
And if you could take those sprouts a next step further and grow them to microgreens, which I'm currently doing, and you can even there's a lot of potential. I've considered opening a small microgreens business. You could sell them at farmers markets. You could sell them at local restaurants because, they're a demanded item. Have you ever bought microgreens at the grocery store?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I put them in salads. Actually, you had wraps one day. You came.
I was just gonna say it.
Yeah.
In those amazing fucking delicious wraps.
Yeah, I made some vegan wraps one day. We used sprouted tofu, fermented tofu. We use a sriracha that's made out of kimchi. It's so good. Microgreens, some spinach. Have a good time.
Will may be a believer that day, folks.
Being vegan, being this way can taste good. It's not like you have to eat shit. You just have to figure out what to eat.
Be like healthy Pac Man.
Oh man, Pac Man. That Pac Man in itself is a mind fuck. Pac Man's in hell. He's got demons chasing him, and if he goes to one side of the map, he just comes back on the other side of the map.
Oh my god, he's in limbo.
He's in like a limbo.
Holy shit, you're totally right. You just made me realize that.
So if you're gonna be in a limbo of your own trap and your own mind's trap, just
Pac Man is in limbo. But he can't get out of the map. He's always there.
Right.
Always running.
Always running.
Never at peace.
Never at peace. Constant conflict. And he's always eating these little tiny dots. He's just all he's got to do is keep consuming. That's all he has to do until it's all done. And then he moves on to the next harder thing to consume.
Folks, you didn't think you could get philosophical about Pac Man until you came to the Void Phil. And yeah, we all need to get in tune. I mean, be like this dude. Look at this dude. He's just
that dude knows what's up.
He's doing kung fu under the stars.
Damn.
You can see he's one with the earth, doing kung fu. Be like Kung Fu Earth Man.
Kung Fu Earth
now.
Man. That's great. That is great.
Don't give in to the convenient, easy way, people, because that's exactly what they want you to think.
Convenient and easy means diseases and death. Patience.
They want you to think.
Patience and persistence, everybody. Just have those two things.
Patience, persistence.
Yep. That's all you need in life.
You eat good, and then you can align your chakras. What do you guys know about chakras?
You don't even. If you eat well, you just feel well. It's not even. You don't even have to. It doesn't even have to be about chakras or anything New Age. It's just simple. You eat well, you feel well.
So then, would you say this would improve my sexuality chakra?
Maybe something that's an aphrodisiac. Start looking up foods that are aphrodisiacs. That's all you got to do. And yeah,
It's definitely improving my awareness chakra. The Shuddha
the
and
Shuda.
Swadhisthana.
It's great.
Guys, when it really comes down to is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And if you want to be fucking cool, then you grow your own food because it's the new thing. It's the happening thing, folks.
Yeah, and
Everyone's doing it. Don't be like this loser. What is this guy doing with his life? Look at this guy. Don't be like him.
True that. Yeah, I
Be
mean,
like Kung Fu Earthman. In tune with his body.
I think what Jeff's trying to get at is that it should not be cool to fucking destroy yourself. It should be cool to help yourself. They want to keep you down. If they keep you down, you're not a threat to them. And if you're not a threat to them, then their thing can keep resuming and be all good. Help yourself. Make yourself better. Boost yourself up. If you eat well, you're going to feel well. If you start working out, you're going to feel even 10 times better. And when you do whatever, if you're going to the store and you go grab something heavy, that shit's going to be easy and you're going to be like, hell yeah. That's not even it. It's going to overlap into everything you do. So how hard is it?
I recently just got over a bad fast food addiction for like months. I was just, oh man, I was eating so much fast food.
So easy. You just got to get a double cheeseburger or one of those $1 menu things. Just $1.
That's what I was doing. I would get a few dollar menu things and be good to go. And it's just so easy.
It's probably the worst thing there.
And then I saw the light. I realized how easy it was to grow my own food. And I'm in an apartment! So there's no excuses.
No big deal.
Everybody should be learning how to grow their own food, regardless of what you believe in. It's very important, especially for the coming changes, which we will cover more. And I will have articles for you, so you can read them yourselves. But for now, folks, go buy a couple mason jars. I went to the hardware store. I bought some window screen by the foot for like a few dollars. Cut out a little square to fit the top of your mason jar for your filter. Soak the seeds for 12 hours and just keep rinsing them 2 to 3 times a day. And boom, you have food. It's that easy. And I'm going to do an instructional video. Just as I once watched an instructional video, I shall pass the torch to you. And you shall pass the torch to others.
It's great. I love that.
Be like Kung Fu World Man. Don't be this guy. Be this guy. Don't be this guy. Be Vegetable Pac Man. Except, I'm sorry you're stuck in it. Eternity.
But hey,
vegetable house.
This is the point I want to get at with that. If you're gonna be stuck in a mind pattern of your own creation, if you're gonna be stuck in a mind pattern of your own creation, you might as well make it one that you're creating and not something that you've learned from your family, from school, from all these institutions before you that have been spoon feeding you shit. No offense about the family thing. Some of you guys have had family that were feeding you great things, but a lot of us no. So,
sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Folks, don't be controlled by whatever you want to call it. There's many names for it.
Is it aliens? Is it Illuminati aliens?
Oh God, what have I done showing this picture?
Is that Illuminati aliens?
Who knows what this is, Will?
That's a great picture.
Whatever you think it is, that's what they want you to think.
Or that's what you want you to think.
No, that's what they want you to think.
I know. That cat looks, man. That cat looks fucked up. That's a great picture.
The cat might be on mushrooms.
Oh God! All right. All right, so I think we're close to hitting the 45-minute mark. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining episode 3 of the Void Fill. Please like and subscribe. All the shit that everyone says at the end of YouTube. Do that.
Yeah, do that, ditto. And email us at thevoidfill@gmail.com. Even if you want to, say fuck you, do it anyway.
Yeah.
Email me.
You know
I
what?
wanna hear it.
Just make it a trend. Just put fuck you. Fuck off, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Jeff and Will signing off.
Is it over?
No. Bye, everybody.
We should totally keep this.
Yeah, we are. All right, let me get this going.
Oh man, I hope I sounded okay.
Yeah, you did.
I'm trying to make it fun, so it's not just all like.
Oh, hey, it's still recording. That's great. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.